10 will stack him back up 50 laps up out of the scoreboard. Plenty to find out here in 25 miles of action. All Freedom front row, Strelka on the inside, Rowdy Audi on the outside. Both looking for their first of 2016. Rowdy Audi looking to reverse his luck here. Hasn't been the greatest 2016, but a win tonight would go a long way. 1 to go. Slowly they roll down the backstretch, poised and ready to go. Again, Maxwell, Schultz, Casey Johnson, JVO. Keeping our eye on them with that point battle. Just 13 points from first to third. And 1 week left after this one. They rev it up, roll down to the line. The Rich Summers Memorial is underway. Who will it be? Struck on the inside. Oh, look out. Almost 3 wide as Everts tries to shoot the gap down to the bottom. He's able to get there in time, though. Rowdy Audi backpedaling a little bit on the outside. It'll be side by side for second. Struck leads lap 1, and then we're side by side still for second. Efforts with a fast race car trying to get going. He looked to the inside of Strelka. However, the outside line's what opens up as we see Rowdy Audi now with a run down the front stretch back to the lead. Oh, Efforts, look out! Into Stumpf and around he goes! Oh my! Good job by the rest of the pack not to hit the broadside sitting 66. You can see Sawyer Efforts desperately trying to get down to the inside line, and Strelka had that kind of sealed off. So that Efforts making some contact with the 66, and around goes Alex Stumpf. So both the 2 and the 66 will be sent to the tail of the field. Schuler pulling in. Some trouble on the 72 car. The 3 spun after the yellow, so he's not apart. So Reichenberger will get his spot back. And there you see Efforts look pretty quick so far early on here. And unfortunately for him, he's going to have to go to the tail and try it all over again.
Why is Efforts thinking around?
So Jesse Oudenhoven will be your leader in the 1 car. Initially off of the start, Strelka got a good line on the inside and took the lead. However, we see the 1 car, Rowdy Audi fighting back, and he'll get the choice when the barrel comes down, whether he wants the inside line or the outside line for the restart. Kendall moving up as well in the 11, put him 3rd. So both the 2 and the 66, once they get to the tail, the lineup will be good. There we go. Lineup looking good. Randy Schuler will rejoin at the tail end of the field.
Technically, the 2 tried to dump the 50.
The barrel is down. It is illuminated, and the drivers will choose whether they want the inside line or the outside line. Whichever line you choose is the line in which you must stay for the restart. So let's see where Oudenhoven goes. He started on the outside. And he's going back to the outside. So, replay of the start here with the 52 car on the inside of the 1. Casey Johnson electing to go to the outside. So did Brandon Reichenberger, and that might move Maxwell Schultz up a little bit. There you see. How about that? Bennett to the outside as well. So Schultz ends up moving up to the inside of Casey Johnson in that third row. Bergstrom, Fortinina, pace vehicle, bringing the field around. By the way, if you're part of the caution, you're supposed to stay at the tail end of the longest line.
I can see why they just want to start behind Mike Anthony. It's not 15.
Two down, 58 remain. Bergstrom, Fortinina, pace vehicle, pulling ahead. Lights will go out. He'll duck into the pit area. There we go. Stumped back behind the tail end of the longest line. So everything good there. All right, let's see what happens this time. A replay of the start with Rowdy Audi on the outside of Strelka. Green again. This time a much better start on the outside for Rowdy Audi. And there he goes. Back into the lead. Kendall gets a masterful start as well in third. And he'll tuck into that position. Here comes Johnson on the outside. Might bring Kyle Kalmus as well. And Maxwell jumps up top. Suddenly Strelka fights back on the bottom. Oh, Johnson almost into the outside wall as he looks to the outside of Kendall. Good save by the 47. Things getting dicey up front. Oudenhoven trying to get away again. Strelka will not allow that to happen this time. Oudenhoven back up front. Let's see if he shuts the door going into 3 and 4. Trying to take it down to the bottom. He's able to hang on this time. 5 in the books. Rowdy Audi solidly up front, but the pressure coming back from Strelka. Johnson closing it back in on Kendall as Strelka goes back on the attack again. Right behind him, about in the fifth spot. You see Kalmus on the outside, Maxwell right behind, and there's JVO up there as well. Johnson wants to get down to the bottom. Here he comes over the turn, almost into the outside wall. There's Kendall, and Johnson's got the inside. Maxwell jumps down to the bottom on Kalmus as well. Side by side in the lead once again. Still just too much Rowdy Audi on the outside. Johnson again looking down to the bottom on Kendall. Looks like the outside might open up for Bobby, though. Kendall remaining up top will now go to the outside of Strelka for second. Johnson has to decide where to go, and it looks like he's going outside as well. Meanwhile, JVO's gone to the outside of Maxwell. Side by side, Maxwell and JVO. Put JVO up to 6. Maxwell fights back. Kendall now to second. Johnson wants third as he goes to the outside of Strelka. The challenge may be coming for the lead shortly as Kendall starts to size up Rowdy Audi. Rowdy Audi getting the inside line sealed off. Here comes Johnson again looking down to the bottom on Kendall as they go to 3 and 4. Kendall shuts the door right on the back side of Rowdy Audi. But there goes Kendall up the track again, opening up the bottom for Johnson. It was 11 score that time. We might have a car in the second spot. Here is Johnson on the inside of Kendall. JVO still working his way through. He's just gotten around Kalmus for 5th, and now he wants 4th. JVO moving up in a hurry. Johnson in his second. Kendall falls back to 3rd. JVO's up to 4th, and he is continuing to attack.
He passed it.
into third for JVO. The 45 on a mission as he moves up to third. And here goes Johnson looking for the lead. Johnson to the inside of Jesse out and over the low side by side through 3 and 4. Casey Johnson a little slide to the 4. No worries though. He stays even with Rowdy. All this happening just a car length in front of JVO, who's closing the gap now. They roll through 3 and 4 once more. Johnson down to that bottom line. Nice run at a 4. Casey Johnson the lead. Here comes JVO. Sliding right inside the gap that Johnson made. JVO up to second. Meanwhile, we see the 52 car coming back to life. Vistroka gets ready to challenge Bobby Kendall for fourth out of turn 4. Kendall, a little bit of slide going through 1 and 2. Here's Strelka down on the inside out of the second turn. Back up front. Very quickly, we see the 47 and 45 distancing themselves from the rest of the pack. It's a car like separating your leaders. Maxwell knows it's time to go in that 34 car. However, there's nowhere to go as they're still side by side for fourth in front of them. Maxwell just waiting to see what's going to happen. Here comes Strelka. He makes the run into fourth. Maxwell looking for fifth. With that door open, Maxwell will pick up the fifth spot right behind Strelka, and he'll get ready to go on the attack. Back up front, Johnson's distanced himself from JVO just a little bit, about 2 car lengths now separating your leaders.
Actually, maybe 3.
Casey Johnson knows that he needs to keep that 45 car behind him. It will be lap number 20 this time, with 30 still left. Bennett getting ready to go on the attack for the 6th spot now. Watch Lowell as they go to 3 and 4. He sizes up Bobby Kendall, who hangs out of the spot right now. It looks like Kendall a bit tight going into the turns. He's having a hard time keeping it down on that inside line, and Bennett will look to take advantage this time, going into 1 and 2. Again, Kendall slides up over that inside line just a little bit. That messes up the turn for him quite a bit as well, and that will open up the inside line for Bennett. Bennett to the inside of the turn 4. That'll be for 6th. Casey Johnson's advantage slowly growing over JVO. It's about 3 car lengths. Pretty healthy advantage back to the 3rd spot, which is still Rowdy Audis. Top 2 trying to step away to the side this one. Strelka might be coming back on Rowdy Audi now. About 2 car lengths separating them. Maxwell just waiting to see how that one plays out as well. He knows those 2 cars that are beating him in the points are starting to run away up front. Does Maxwell have a little something in the tank? When they hit this stripe this time, it'll be lap number 25. 25 left on the board. Rowdy Audi with a little slip that time through 1 and 2, allowing Strelka to close the gap. Took a look to the inside, couldn't get anything done though. We'll see if he attacks again through 3 and 4. Strelka right on the back bumper of Rowdy Audi down the front stretch. Strelka again gets a look at the inside. Can he make the run of it 2 this time? Strelka looks down to the bottom. Will he get there in time? Rowdy Audi wants to shut the door, but it's too late. Strelka is there. They'll go side by side up at turn number 4. Battle on for 3rd. Max just waiting to see if Strelka will be able to pick off the 1 car again. Max right in the tire tracks of Strelka. Back up front, JVO is starting to close the gap. Back up on Johnson. Struck is up to third. Struck in the third. Maxwell looking for fourth as he goes side by side with Jesse Adenovan going into 3 and 4. Adenovan stuck in that outside line and it won't last there long. Maxwell's up to fourth. Van Adenovan just biding his time, looking ready to make a run. 30 down this time, 20 to go. JVO right on the bumper. Here goes JVO looking inside. Into 3 and 4. Johnson shut the door. Will this be the time for JVO to make his run? Bennett starting to close in on Jesse Adenovan. Maybe about up in the 5th spot here shortly. We'll watch them roll down the backstretch and into 3 and 4. Bennett's within a car length on the 1. Bennett getting ready to make his run down the backstretch now, looking to the inside of Jesse Adenovan. Back up front, they're exiting turn 4. And again to the inside, looks JVO. Bennett on the inside again. Side by side with Jesse Adenovan going into 3 and 4. To be better in the 5th spot, and it looks like Bennett might have it. Ooh, what that time out of 4. Bennett up to 5th. Leaders starting to close in on lap traffic. 35 down this time, 15 left. JVO still hounding Casey Johnson. Maxwell looks like he is pretty much solidly in that 4th spot now. Not sure if he's going to have something left for Brent Strelka. But a good run here for Strelka, rounding up the podium as it stands right now. JVO just hanging on back in that 2nd spot. We'll see what happens when they catch up to the lap traffic. This somewhat a reversal of roles from last week. It was Casey Johnson trying to chase down Andy Monday up front. This time it's the 47 car trying to hold off JVO. A dozen left.
And 71 should not be racing each other when the leaders pull up on that.
Kyle Thomas in danger of losing a spot to Andy Monday. That might be your best battle on the track right now. Barring when the leaders prepare to go at it. But you see Monday right now on the backside of Kyle Thomas out of turn number 2. That'll be for 8th. Casey Johnson continuing to hold off JVO to the tune of about 3 car lengths now. However, JVO might just be cooling down the tires and getting ready to make one final run. Down to 9 laps remaining in this one. Casey Johnson really starting to stretch it out now. You can see he's putting in more distance between himself and JVO. However, lap traffic, we'll see what this does. Here goes Johnson now to the outside of Schuler. He's just going to let Johnson go if he can catch up to him. And there goes Johnson on the outside. Dragic will slide down to the inside as well. No trouble here for Casey Johnson on the outside of the two lap cars. Oh, look out now. Dragic sideways as Johnson goes to the outside. JVO makes up some time. Meanwhile, Maxwell's caught up to the 52. He might have a battle for the third spot before this one is up. Leaders are clear of lap traffic. 45 down this time. 5 remain. Casey Johnson stretching it out. Maxwell had closed it in on Strelka, however, won't be able to do anything about that. Casey Johnson trailing by 5 points coming into the feature. We're going to make up some ground on JVO.
What's the...
JVO tightening the noose just a little bit. 3 to go this time by. Can JVO find something here in the final 2 laps? He's closing the gap now to Casey Johnson. About 4 car lengths back down the backstretch. Can JVO continue to chop away? Look at him closing now down to 2 car lengths. This one's not over yet. The white flag is out. 1 to go. JVO trying on this final lap to close in on Casey Johnson. 3 car lengths back as they go through 3 and 4. Will he get to the bumper? He's closing it up. Might not be enough. Looks to the inside. Too late. Johnson with a win. My, oh my. Point leaders going after it. JVO looking to make one final run there, close the gap, but I don't know. Maybe if this was a 51 or 52 lap feature, something might have been done about it.
0679.
Doesn't end up being enough, and Casey Johnson hangs on for the win. By the way, Benny from Valley Gasket gives away $50 every time Casey Johnson wins a feature. 0679. If you have that ticket, you can go down to the front stretch. Holler for Lauren again. 0679. There's going to be one very happy guy. The lead coming into the feature was 5, and now it is down unofficially to 2 points heading into championship night next week. Feature winner down on the track for the 2nd annual Rich Summers Memorial. How about it for Casey Johnson?
Casey Johnson hopping out of the car. Here he is, Casey Johnson! Casey, congratulations. This was big for many reasons. I'll start with the Rich Summers Memorial, 2nd annual Rich Summers Memorial. To win on a night where we have in memory of a guy who meant so much to not only this track, but racing in general, and you're the winner.
Yeah, like you say, I mean, he's got the memorial deal, and it's a big honor to win his race. He meant a lot to the racetrack out here, so it's great to come away with that.
The other reason it's big is the points race. I know you drivers don't like to talk about the point race a little bit, but it's a close one, and the guy that finished right behind you is in front of you in the points. He was catching a little bit on track. Was that just a case of you just not giving up and knowing that you needed this win?
Well, I gave the thing everything it had because, like you say, I knew he couldn't pass us. So we were really hanging on. Jeff had a good car again tonight, so in order for anything to shake out next week, I think we had to stay where we were at. So I ran the heck out of her.
It looked like he closed in, then you would kind of pull away, close in, pull away. Do you think just that long race, his stuff started going away just about the time yours did?
Well, I think Jeff's an old veteran, so he kind of knows the whole deal about saving the tires. So I think he'd back off a little bit, try and cool him down, and make a good run at me where I was just going the whole time. So we were fortunate enough to come out on top today, and we'll see how everything shakes out next weekend.
I asked this question earlier to someone. How hard is it to save at a track like this?
Well, I mean, when you get the right balance, I mean, it's really not too bad. And we were a little on the loose side tonight, so it's awfully hard to save because you're constantly spinning them up off the corner. But saving's not the funnest thing to do, I can tell you that.
Who makes this all possible for you, Casey?
I really got to thank Benny at Valley Gasket. He's the main push behind this whole deal. I got to thank Hogan Farms, Van Zeeland Collision and Paint, and then I also got to thank Appleton Breakfast Rotary Club and obviously everybody from the Rich Summers family for sponsoring the night. Can't thank them enough.
Congratulations, Casey Johnson in Victory Lane. Casey, the tradition when you win, you get to roll the dice. This is for an extra $50 from Hank and Karen's Pub and Grill and Boyd Dietzen Construction. It is a 2, so an extra $50 going to the second place finisher in the figure 8 race.